It's time to put in place the first ever authority with global powers to do a vital job. It's time to put in place a global planet authority whose only job is to protect and enhance the biosphere. A GPA would look like this. It would have a biophysical executive whose job it would be to set the biophysical boundaries necessary for a healthy bioabundant planet, now and in 100 and 500 years' time. It would be made up of 21 environmental specialists, 3 from each of the 7 geopolitical zones. Serving the GPA would be an operating team whose job would be to put in place the taxes, rules, and finances necessary to protect the planet. The GPA would then get to work. It would protect the ozone by having powers to close any factory in the world that makes damaging gases. The GPA would tax carbon globally so we go quickly to zero emissions and prepare to reduce CO2 concentration in the troposphere. Plant 2 billion hectares worth of forests on degraded land, which is the size of South America. This would be 6 times the size of our current program. Place all rainforest under a global protectorate to ensure they grow. No more loss of any rainforest. A GPA would place 30% of the world's landmass as global parks, which maintain zero human impact. In order to recover biodiversity, we must lose no more species. The GPA would make sure we use less than the limit of 4,000 cubic kilometers of fresh water and work to restore the world's aquifers. It would limit the use of dams and extraction of river water to make sure all rivers run from source to mouth naturally. It would place 40 to 50% of the oceans into inviable global marine parks, including the Arctic and Antarctic, in order to repopulate. And they'd be mobile marine reserves as well, tracking migrating large fish and whales. Our GPA would implement a global agroecology program to preserve topsoil, reduce our nitrogen cycle by 75% whilst fostering the growth of new safer fertilizers, and reduce global landfill by taxing it and monitoring it globally. So if a global planet authority with the right powers can do all this, how do we get one? Fortunately, we are 80% of the way there, because 2 preconditional factors are now in place. These 2 factors are, we know the problem and we are connected. So now we, the global citizens, only have to take the last step. We need to allocate part of our personal sovereignty to create the authority. And we do this by holding a global voluntary online vote to bring it about. It will take at least 1.5 billion votes. That is twice the size of the largest election in the world, India's national election, and 10 times the size of the national elections of Indonesia and the USA. If we're going to go global with our protection of the biosphere, it has to be emphatic, a clear choice by the citizens of the world. True, to get 1.5 billion votes or more is a lot, but we have 3 big advantages in achieving this. Firstly, huge numbers. 5.9 billion of us are now 13 years old and over, and anyone who is 13 or older will be allowed to vote. It is right to include teenagers as they have always been present at points of revolutionary change in human history. 2. We are connected. 5 billion of us will be connected to the internet by 2020. Thirdly, we have the first global generation, 2 billion hyper-connected young global citizens born in the digital age. We need no one's permission to do so. Our numbers are greater than any nation, state or democracy. There is no human organizational form that exists that can deliver us a sound biophysical future, so we have to create one. It's the rational thing to do, the right thing to do, the common sense thing to do, and absolutely necessary, and we can do it now.